People would say it's boring. I don't think it's boring. Having sufficient protein in, having sufficient fat, it all makes sense. I would say it depends on how much sports you're doing. If you're doing a lot of energy, physical training, I would say use some carbs, some fruits.
Okay. Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Louisa, and if you have been following me before, I make videos on more my carnivore way of eating. But today I'm very excited because I have a special guest, my father. He never does these type of interviews, so I'm very happy that he is joining me. And today we're gonna discover more about his way of eating. He's also doing carnivore. He's been doing this for a long time, and he is over 60. He is, as we speak, you're 63 years old, and I just was very curious to know a bit more on like how he's feeling, and I think it's super interesting for you guys to learn a bit more, especially if you're over 50 watching this video. Or you want to share this maybe with your parents. This might be very interesting for you. Today we are in the countryside. My sister is behind the camera recording us. So let's dive in and let's start with the first question. So, Dad, when did you started this way of eating carnivore, and what was the reason behind it?
Well, the reason was you, because you were telling like I should do it, I should try it. I was doing keto, and quite some years, and going over from keto to carnivore was easy step. So I tried it. I thought like it's going to be boring. I can tell you it's not boring at all. It's easy to follow. I don't feel it like, it's not a diet. I don't feel like I'm doing something with a lot of restrictions. It's easy. I travel a lot. For me, making a meat dish, easy to handle, only pros. So thanks for introducing me to carnivore diet.
It's true that I came across, I think it was Dr. Paul Saladino, and then I thought, hey, this might be an interesting diet for you. Could you bring us a bit back to, because you mentioned you've done keto before. Why did you do keto? Like, what brought you to doing the keto way of eating?
Yeah, why not? You know, if you read, if you study a little bit about health, it's so obvious. Like carbs are not helping the quality of life. It's not. I'm not completely, like ultimate strict. It might be that I have maybe once in a while something with a little bit of sugar. I need to enjoy life, but keto diet, it makes sense. Eat as your ancestors, our ancestors. So that's what I did, and maybe going to carnivore, it's even a little, one step further.
Yes.
In a way, I'm doing an animal-based diet. That's it, eating dairy, meat, salt and water. People would say it's boring. I don't think it's boring. I can enjoy. After, 2.5 years I'm doing it?
Yeah, we were just discussing off camera that you're doing this carnivore way of eating already like 2.5 years. 2.5 years,
and it's not boring. It's every day there's another kind of meat, or there's, it's not a big cookbook, or I'm not working on I'm not such a much a restaurant guy, and I enjoy meat, and the meat, salt and water. People are not entering this diet because they're afraid. They're like, all the variety of food that people want to eat and continue to eat. For me, that wasn't an issue.
Okay.
It was an easy step to do. And before, I've been doing some vegetables in the beginning, and I think that was a good thing to skip the veggies for having more rest in your digestive system.
So prior to carnivore, you were doing keto. You would say more veggies. You were consuming more veggies.
Still some, yeah.
What was your feeling now that you're doing carnivore, which is of course upping the protein? Could you tell us a bit about like the difference?
I believe high protein. Eh?
Now it's high protein.
High protein. I believe in skeletal muscle. I believe in training, being active. having sufficient protein in, having sufficient fat. It all makes sense. And sometimes I'm a little bit experimenting with some fruits. So,
like Dr. Paul Saladino is also consuming some fruits.
And I don't know. It's not yet that I made a decision like it should be a reasonable amount. Depending, I would say it depends on how much sports you're doing. If you're doing a lot of energy, physical training, I would say use some carbs, some fruits. And I've been quite a while strict, only meat. It was also doing well. So then I introduced some fruits with it. Worked fine. Sometimes I think if I'm lazy or, only traveling, not taking care of physical exercise, I would say maybe reduce a little bit the carbs. So I'm a little bit studying. Dr. Mercola is more, in the beginning he was like anti-carbs and it was always high fat. And he's telling things like carbs should be limited. The carbs is not the problem. Like it's more vegetable oils.
Yes. The processed vegetable
seed
oils.
They are the problem. So I like to study. I like to read about it. And then you think like, hey, wow, this is an opinion. It's all about health food. How come they're so strict? So many opinions, like vegetarians, and we have meat eaters. So you try to absorb. And I'm open. If someone can show me like the vegan diet is the diet for me.
You're open, flexible to
Just I'm a hacker. How you call it? Like,
a biohacker.
Biohacker. I want to use absorb it, and make the best of it.
Yeah, I think also my sister behind the camera can agree that you're very like a flexible person in life in general. You can adapt easily, and you're always so curious in life to know what is happening, but also how to go for optimal health. Could you tell me the biggest difference from going a high-fat approach, doing more keto, to carnivore? Maybe mentally, physically, what are the differences?
Well, like high-fat diet, like if you absorb too much fat, I think it's not possible. If you eat only fat, you will be. It will come out. The body will resist it. So there's always needs to be what you mix with fat, carbs or proteins. So meat looks to me like it's the right combination of fat and proteins. So the combination is good. It feels natural. Meat is absorbed in the small intestines. So you got a full absorption in the beginning of your digestive system. That's why you're not going to the toilet every day. It makes sense. It feels there's a balance. Your meat is also the fullest, the richest product in nutrients, a lot more than any other food. So it's complete. You feel satisfied after eating a little bit of meat. So, by all means, it feels like a win. So I'm just in it for the winning, I just want to bet on the food that's the best for me. The rest I don't care.
So how are you feeling? So is it like now that you're consuming more protein, do you feel like, okay, you say you're easily satisfied? What about energy? What about maybe your performance, maybe body composition?
I think it improved. Like looking at my physical state of health. At my 63, I think, okay, I can compare it to when I was in my 40s or 40 and doing some training. So that's a benefit. A few years ago, I think, when I look back at 4 years or 5 years photos, then I think like, oh, I had a bigger belly. I was more bloated.
Yes,
I think that was the problem. I was bloated.
Yeah, so, I guess also because you have been in this. You had this journey where you were eating a lot of, I remember you telling me and Julia like, oh, vegetables so important. A lot of olive oil as well, that you were like telling us all the time, olive oil with veggies. But it's true, you were definitely more bloated than now. Now you are feeling in one of your fittest areas in your life. Maybe, of course, not when we were not born yet, you were maybe more fit. But now as a 63-year-old, I think you can be very proud of how your physical state is.
Yeah,
but also mentally. Does it affect you also mentally, maybe? This way of eating?
I think so, it does. I think it benefits your I think also that sport will benefit you, like doing training. For me, it's a little bit like, eating meat is like, it's a habit, it's a part of life. So you just do it, and from one day to another day, you don't have to think about, oh, this is my day where I need to do, I can eat this and that. No, it's every day is a bit the same.
So it keeps it very simple.
It's a simple thing, and so it's also like maintaining your body by training. I'm not doing it once a week. I try to do it, I don't know, 5 times a week, half an hour, and to the max. Why not? Just lift to the max.
So tell me a bit about your training. So you train 5 days a week, 30 minutes. What is the training look like?
Yeah, in a gym. So
weight training.
Weights. Yeah, everything is based on resistance training. And not like I don't want to walk a marathon. I don't think they're so healthy. They're not so healthy. You better do like interval or weight training. So it's some muscle groups, and you try to go to the maximum. And cool. No, I don't think I have a lot of injuries. So
did your performance also improve now you're doing carnivore? When you're thinking about weight training, did you were able to lift more, things like that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's. I still have the stupid idea that I can reach my peak at 70.
Let's go for that. That's good.
That's a good. Where others are telling like you go downsizing. I feel like I want to.
You can still.
That's my goal.
Yeah, great.
What the reality is. Okay, I accept, but. I'm positive.
That's cool. A question about traveling. So you've mentioned it's easy while traveling. Could you, for the people looking at it, like if a person wants to travel, how can they still maintain? They are going on holiday, let's say Italy, or we're getting all these things. They were like want to eat some pizza.
Don't eat the food in the plane. It's not. There's maybe a little part that you can eat. So I'm not having the pastas, all the.
So you take your own food to
but okay. Normally I should prepare some meat, but I can remember taking some raw meat tartare or ground beef, having some salt, raw. I don't have a problem with it,
Yes,
people they complain, they say you're crazy, eating raw meat.
Yes, especially for the passenger next to you. Maybe they will be like, oh, what is he eating?
You try to hide it a bit, but
yes. So you bring your own food to the plane. What, for example, you arrive in Italy, you all these amazing dishes, but you mentioned you're not really a restaurant guy. But if you would go to a restaurant, what do you make sure? Like, do you check menus before? Like, how do you prepare?
No, I don't check menus. The pizzas and the pastas and the salads, I'm not keen on that. No, I just look, where's the most meat? In which plate is the most meat? That's what I ask. So, I like to travel more to countries where there's a little bit a relationship to meat.
With meat, yeah.
So that's also a thing that I now look in the world where the meat is widely available.
Yes.
It's easy.
What is your approach when it comes to like grass-fed versus just...
Probably, grass-fed. I like organic. I like as natural as possible. But how to select on meat, if it's like, if you're buying it raw or, supermarket or butcher.
Yes.
I only know like, if the color is more green, more, and not the white, the fat, but it's more... colored, then it means like they're eating more the green, the grass, and
the grass.
Yeah,
interesting. If someone watching today and they're on a budget, is the carnivore way of eating then still accessible? Is it doable?
Yeah, I think so. If you ground beef, it's not. It's inexpensive.
Because they would probably skip all the rest.
Well, it's concentrated, it's high, it's full of energy. So, what are you eating? What can I eat in a day? Maybe 900 grams, not even a kilo, and that's my investment in a day. Okay, then it's depending on the quality or the butcher, what you buy, what kind of meat. But it's I don't have a medical bill, so I don't have that cost. So investing a little bit more in meat or in healthy food, what I think is healthy, it's paying back by not having medicine. So
what is your opinion? A question that comes to mind, we didn't speak about this before, but when it comes to a lot of people around your age, they think that too much meat is causing heart disease.
Yeah, the cholesterol myth.
Yes, cholesterol.
Well, yeah,
and
you know, longevity is actually, cholesterol is having a positive effect on longevity. Yeah, people with low cholesterol levels, they tend to have heart attacks, and so I don't believe in statins in medicine for that. I know my cholesterol, the so-called, what is it, LDL, will be a little bit higher. Yeah, okay, I don't mind. There's probably like very low density lipid. That's more of interest. I know it's good. Yeah, I think cholesterol is completely put in the market as something bad and that you need to reduce. I don't believe in that. Okay.
yes.
I think about myself, my gains. Like maybe I'm not so trying to spread this to the world, because people are quite, you know.
Yeah, they're thinking in boxes. And
yes, it's difficult to persuade.
But I like your approach, because you are the perfect example for someone, showing it by an example, by being the example.
By testing, correct.
Rather than putting it on
trial and error.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
Yes.
I like to do that. And
That's great.
if it makes sense, I do it, you know. And then testing all the benefits and adjusting sometimes a bit.
Yes. What happens to someone who wants to, let's say someone on the standard American diet, seeing this video, curious to start? Would you recommend, let's go for first keto, then carnivore? Like, what would the perfect approach be for someone?
Standard American diet is
that's meaning high carbs, combining high carb with
some fast food,
fat, yes, with trans fat, which is
more carbs and modest in fat and proteins.
Yes. Yeah. What would you recommend? Just maybe a slow transition to go into
because
this
my
way.
only experience was like a slow transition for me, because I went keto for years, and then so probably that makes sense. You know, you go to more original foods, the foods you find in the supermarket that are not packed and natural. That's something I think in the world we all agree. Like, no processed food. Okay, we all understand that. And then continue. For me, going keto to the carnivore diet was it was nothing. It was like, okay, like coming home. Yeah, like, okay, fantastic. So for someone starting from the standard diet, could be like
taking maybe a keto approach before going carnivore.
Because what I find is people are reluctant, you know, when they see me eating all the meat, and I see them eating all the other foods. They're reluctant to make that step, so they need to do some in between steps.
Yes. What are some maybe platforms or doctors you are following?
Yeah.
Also, out of my curiosity, I'm curious actually because I know that you've been Dr. Mercola, that's one, but of course he's now more up, like also about maybe consuming some carbs here and there. Paul Saladino.
Even I don't know all the names, but even Kent Carnivore, a young guy. I think he's a window washer. You know, he's like, but he's very intelligent. I don't know if you know him, but that's one. And okay, Paul Saladino and the Mercolas. Okay, I watch all. Even Dr. Burke, he's not a carnivore,
but he's in keto. Yes.
But he's all the veggies and so on, and I try to absorb all.
And then you make your own.
But on the end, I still stick to carnivore.
And that is because you feel good. It's for you easy way of eating, an easy approach. It's accessible, like wherever you go, traveling. For you, it's easy.
For me, it's easy.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy. And if you, I think when did I try something else to introduce? I immediately, I'm not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, so that's also interesting to speak. Like, you're not drinking alcohol, which definitely back in the days you were drinking alcohol.
Yes, I did.
How was it for you to, maybe we can learn from you. I'm drinking sometimes a glass of champagne or whatever, but how is it how can we learn from you just to stop? And what was the reason maybe behind you quitting alcohol?
Okay, like I think that happened like a year ago, something like a year ago, that I completely stopped. And I'm not sure why, or maybe I think I know the answer. I think because I was introducing a little bit more fruit. So I have a theory that the sugar, the fruit sugar, that somehow I needed a little bit of fruit sugar, or replacing the alcohol, which is also made from sugar.
Yeah.
So I think that helped for me, like as a substitute. So there was a moment that I introduced some fruit, and my appetite for, let's say, a vodka or distilled. I thought like distilled is better for my health than beer.
Yes.
So I was consuming some, every day. Let's face it. But it was an easy step. Just
it's amazing.
Just enter it by starting some fruit, and then boom.
Because you always told us like you needed a drink. We have never seen you drunk, but you needed to drink just to sleep, right?
To relax in the evening.
It was for you
like
de-stress.
Something, a bed night
yes.
nap.
So maybe the fruit helps to create some melatonin for you to sleep. So definitely maybe the switch with consuming.
That's what I'm studying also, like, because some doctors are telling like to address a better sleep, you might need some carbs. That's what I found in a few doctors telling me. So I think it helps, but not too much. So,
yes.
But what is the balance? I think if you do training, if you do sports, and you have carbs,
if your day are very productive,
then you can have like that combination. And so alcohol substituted to fruit, I think was it's better. It's a good step, because in alcohol there's nothing. If people
there's no
gains.
Health benefits
there
of
is no health
consuming
benefits.
alcohol.
I'm sure. I always thought like
there are mosquitoes here. Right?
It's starting.
Oh yeah.
I thought like but there's the story like 2 glasses of wine a day keeps the doctor away, things like that.
Yeah, but it's not like we don't need it.
It's probably from there's a big industry also.
Yeah.
Everything is money. Follow the money, and then where it's coming from.
Awesome.
So. No, but a positive step.
Yeah,
so
100%.
So,
yes.
Long story short, everything is easy to do. So.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really, thank you for it's so fun to kind of like do this way and to get to know.
Sitting here.
Yeah, and to, of course, it's not really like it's a more formal setup, but I really wanted to have this video today just to kind of look and see your vision behind it, and to learn a bit more about the reason and how you're feeling. So this is really interesting, I guess, also for Julia recording us. It's so interesting to get to know you on the other, like, more food level. And also what I like is that you are never really like putting it on us. Like, of course I introduce you more to carnivore, but it's never like you are like being such a strong, like everyone needs to do it, everyone their own, and you're just leading by example. And I think that's a very nice nice thing to do. And you're showing to people out there that it's doable, and you look great, you feel good. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you for valuing my opinion.